Hello, just getting myself set up here as usual. There we go. Oh, got cherry sauce on my chin. Sorry about that. Should have looked a little closer. Just had my homemade ice cream. Okay, my name is Wendy Keys Turnbull, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And this is my regular Tuesday Facebook Live. Hi, Shy. I see Annie Marconi is watching. I know who that is. Okay, so today we're going to play with some blending brushes and some color and some water. And then I'm going to show you how to make your images stand out off of your cards without using dimensionals. It's a little bit more involved, but a little bit sturdier. Okay, hi Shirley, good to see you here. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch right down and get started. I just have one card to make for you today, but I have another sample to show you. So let's get started. Let's see, how do I wanna do this? My hand, you can see my hand. All right, let's see here. That looks pretty good. Okay, my next workshop is this weekend. So I'm looking forward to seeing many of you this weekend. The 14th, 15th, and 16th. You come either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, and they all run 1 o'clock to 4:30. And this is the host code for this week, as same one as last week. It'll be good through Monday. So we've got our new annual catalog, and our mini catalog goes on until June 30th. So we've got all those to draw from. And I will put a link in the, I'll put a link on here when I'm all done. So to order if you want to order from me. Okay, so today, let me just put these back here out of my way. I'm going to show you how to make this card. Something similar. I don't know if I'll use just a note, but we're going to make this card, which is made from Sweet Songbirds, which is in the new catalog, and comes with bundled with the Songbird Builder Punch. And then this was the first thing I wanted to buy out of the catalog. It wasn't available to me through pre-order, but I ordered it right away as soon as I could. I just love the greetings in here. I just love the fonts that they use. So it's basically happy birthday, thinking of you, just to know, and thank you, but it's done in 3 different fonts. So I just really like that. Okay, so don't mind me, I'm eating a mint. Okay, so we're gonna make the background, and we're gonna make the little embellishments and the little birdie all out of watercolor paper, which this is the Stampin' Up! Watercolor paper. And I have already cut the pieces that we need. The paper itself, okay, I'm going to use this mat here in the middle of because it will hold everything in place. I just got to find I know what I want to do. I want to spritz it with water a little bit on my glass board here, just to keep it in place. Okay. There we go. All right, so the paper comes in, I believe this is 5 by 7. Yep, so I've got the whole piece over here, but I've cut it into pieces. This is what we're going to cut the leaves out of, and this is going to be our background. The bird I also did the same thing with, but I've already done that ahead and I've got room to cut another one out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and use that and not bore you by doing the spritzing and the stuff with 2 colors. Okay, so these are the colors I'm using for this card. Mossy Metal, Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, Pear Pizzazz, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and Pool Party. So I'm not going to use the Pool Party, Pacific Point, and Night of Navy on screen because, like I said, I've already got this cut out, this finished. So I'm going to go ahead and do the greens. And what I did for my blending brushes is I bought 2 packs of them, and I have a reds and pinks, a yellow and orange, a purple, a blue, and a green. So those are the ones that I use. One for browns and grays, but for now, we're just going to use the one green brush, and I'm going to bring this paper over because I'm going to need it to wipe my brush off between colors. And my computer is spinning. Hopefully it's okay for you guys. All right, so I'm going to start with the lightest color, which I'm going to call Pear Pizzazz. So what I'm going to do, I think, is do the background first and then set that aside and do the one for the leaves. We'll go from there. Okay, so I'm just going to, it's all cleaned off. You can see it's pretty green there. And afterwards, I'm going to wash it with water and a little bit of just regular hand soap. And it's going to be almost completely clean again. I'll have a little green hue to it. So I'm just going to ink this up. And I'm just going to rub it in a bunch of different places on the background. Okay. Same thing with the Granny Apple Green. I would have been using Parakeet Party, but it's in a bin with some supplies for the card class this weekend. So, okay, Granny Apple Green, very close to Pear Pizzazz, but a little brighter. Doesn't matter if you cover the whole thing. The reason I'm using the silicone mat is because I can actually rub on here without it moving. It's going to move a little because it's just paper, but Old Olive is next. Hi, Mary King. Nice to meet you. Indianapolis, I've been there. Thanks, Shirley. Yep, I really like it. I was playing with it today, so. Okay, so that's the Old Olive. And then last but not least, we'll use the Mossy Meadow. Oh, and you know what? Right now when I'm thinking of it, I'm going to plug my phone in so I don't have the same issues I've been having with my phone dying while I'm recording here. There we go. Okay, Mossy Meadow. The neat thing is that when I put the water on here, the colors are really going to change quite a bit. Okay, I think I'll just do it like that. I just want to get some of the green out of it here. My old grid paper. Okay. Oh, well, I'm going to have to do this all over again for the other part, but for now we'll just put them back like that. Okay, I'm going to spritz it. See how the bright comes out in it? Just a little more. Okay. I'm going to set that aside here to dry for a bit. I'll probably use my heating tool, my embossing gun, but first I'm just going to leave it, let it dry a little on its own. And I don't really need to clean this off since I'm going to be using the same colors, but just to get it dried up a little bit, we'll clean it off. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again, just so that I can cut out the leaves and things. And I think actually I'm going to go a little heavier on the lighter colors this time. Oh, I did clean it already. So back to the Pear Pizzazz. And the Granny Apple Green. And I'm really putting quite a bit on, and I'm really rubbing hard because it doesn't hurt the brushes. I love these blending brushes. They have changed my life as far as adding color. Those little daubers just didn't do it for me. Old Olive. And again, this is a little bit of a darker color, so I'm not going to put very much of it on. I'm going to kind of focus on the lighter colors here. So. And then again, finally, Mossy Meadow. Just a little bit of this in a couple of spots. right. Okay, spritz it with the water again. Not as much this time. All right, I'm going to set that aside. I can move this, but let me wipe it off first. Be sure and say hi if you're watching, so I can include you in the, I do a raffle drawing. Supposedly I do it the 24 hours after, so at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, but I always forget. So by the end of the week, I will do it. I did the drawing yesterday for last week, but that's okay. I get it done. I don't forget completely. Okay, it's going to get a little loud here. Not sure what got on there. Huh. It's going to get a little loud here for a second, so hang on. Notice I'm letting it drip down. I kind of like the way the drips look across the background. It's got a little orange tint to it, or a little brown tint to it. I'm not sure what that is, but it's okay. Looks all right. I'm just gonna dab the rest of that off there. Okay. Before I put this in the punch that I'm going to use, I want to make sure it's good and dry. So what I'm going to do is, while that dries a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and punch out the songbird. This is what I do with my builder punches, is I always put a little piece in here. That way, if I was going to use this stamp set, I could set this down and put the stamps down where they belong, and then put the block on it and pull it off. And when people stamp with it, or when I stamp with it, it'll line up perfectly to cut it out. So I always have a little pattern in there. It's hard to get it exactly back in there when you close it, so I always have a little trimming going on. But okay, so I'm going to cut out the songbird first of all. And this, again, this is watercolor paper, so it's a little heavier. So I do want to keep the songbird and the wing in those, but this beak and this belly I want to be in different colors and contrasting colors. So I'm using Mango Melody for the beak. Just cut one out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cut two out, and I'll show you why when I get to that point. Okay. And then the belly, I only need one of those. You see, I already cut one out for the sample. Okay, there we go. All right. And let me just put this back here. Okay, we're going to put this baby together while we're waiting for the other stuff to dry. So the belly, get rid of those. The belly's going to go on here. And it does line up. You just have to get it in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and use glue for that. Hi, Gina. Okay. I like to use glue because that way I have the chance to move it around until I get it into the right spot before it dries. If you put it on with tape, it's pretty much going to stay where you first put it. All right, I think it belongs way down here. Gotta make that curve line up. Nope. There we go. Okay. And yes, there's a lot of glue on it now, but that's okay. After it dries, I can use my glue eraser on it. So I'll just keep that out here. Okay. I want his wing to stick up. So let me see. Did I cut those out yet? No, I did not. Okay. So I'm going to cut 3 more of the wing piece out of a white. I could use any color, but I have lots of white scrap. So I'm going to cut it out 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them one on top of the other. So, you know, so I love the Tombow glue, but for something little like this, it's too much. So what I did was I poured some of it into one of these little tiny fine tip glue bottles so that I don't get quite so much, because you'll see there's a ton on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Now I have enough that I don't have to keep using that. All right. So there's the wing. There's the base of the wing. And we'll put a little bit of glue on here. There we go. See how much less comes out when you use the little fine tip. Okay, we'll put this on here. And I'm going to offset it a little. You'll see that I did it on purpose on here. I want a little bit of white to show. So there's a little bit of, it's not volume, like 3D, like a little 3D effect. I think I'm going to have the white show on the top of it this time. All right, so that's going to go on there. Oh my gosh, I have really gotten everything sticky. I'm going to do the same thing with the beak. I didn't do that on this one, but I'm going to do it with this one, the little mouth. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 together to give it a little, make it jump off it a little bit. Now the question is, which side does this go on? That looks right. Sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing. This is kind of a tiny piece. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to wipe my hands off somewhere. Well, I've got, use the spray here. And it all ran down my hand. Depth. Thank you, Shirley. Yes, depth. That was the word I was looking for. That's crazy. Okay. That away. Okay, so here we go. Before I do that, what I didn't realize with this one was that there's a stamp to do the eyes. So I drew those eyes on, but then I found the stamp. Just have to figure out where I put the stamp. It's here somewhere nearby. There it is. Okay. And my StazOn that I always have on my desk. I'm gonna put the eyes. I probably should put the mouth on first, but oh well. Put the eyes about there. There we go. I'm gonna put the little beak, the little mouth. Like that. And it goes like this. Here we go. Little birdie. Oh, and you know what? I've discovered when I was doing this earlier today, depending on the angle of the mouth, depends on what mood the bird looks like he's in. I had the mouth turned down on the other one, and the bird just looked so sad. So it's strange that a little heart-shaped thing like that can make a difference, but it definitely does. All right, there is a lot of glue on this thing. Making a mess, as my grandson would say. I'm making a mess. It's so weird the house is empty because my husband's off flying, and my daughter and son-in-law and grandchildren have finally moved into their house about, I don't know, 20 miles away, 25 miles away. And so this is the first time ever that I've done a Facebook Live without having to close myself in my room, and I just lost his mouth. Where did it go? Did I brush it away? I did. Okay. I haven't had to close myself in a room and put a sign on the door that says, shh, Facebook Live in progress. So it's very weird. I have the doors open. Although my cat may jump up in the middle of everything at some point, but I'll just drop him down. Excuse me. That hit me. Okay. Get that glue off your forehead and off your belly. Oh, I'm really bad with glue. Such a mess. All right. Good enough. Okay, and we're going to put his wing on. Put it on there like so. Okay, he's done. So now, let's get this over here for the rest of it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give that a couple more minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the mat on here. And this is a Pacific Point 5 1/4 by 4 inch cardstock mat. Okay. Stamp and Seal Plus. I'm going to go ahead and do it how I usually do it instead of doing it the way I do it on Tuesday nights, which is to go all the way around the outside and then just do an X in the middle. Okay. There's our mat. Okay, so let's see. I think this is probably dry enough. Let me just heat it again for a couple of minutes. We got a different heating gun here. Hi, Bev. Good to see ya. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to use this bow punch. And I'm going to punch out 3 of each of these. If I can do that on one piece of paper, we shall see. Oh boy. 1. Yeah, I think so. 2. Yes, she was the winner. You are correct. And 3. She's won a couple times. She's a very lucky lady. Okay, so we've got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we got 1, we got 2. Whoops, that one's missing part of it, so I'm going to go ahead and cut 1 more of those out. There we go, in 3. Okay. All right, so I want these to pop off, you see, and I did some of them offset and some of them dead on. And I want them to pop off, so I'm going to go ahead and layer them. And I've already pre-cut 3 each for each of these, so you get to watch me glue for a bit. Now, the one thing I noticed when I was putting this together earlier is you got to make sure which direction these go in, because I glued this side and then went to put this on and went, oh, so I hooked it that way instead and then put the others below it. So, okay, they're all going to go this way. All right. Hang on just a second. Sorry, that sneeze made my nose run. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to use this little bottle because it's so much easier to control. You can put on less because I don't want a whole lot on here. And you know what? I think I'm going to hold it with the tweezer so that I don't get it all over my hands again, since I've got to do a bunch of these. Okay. We'll put 1 on. And again, using glue, you can just move it until it's where it's supposed to be. Right. should have some music on in the background. I usually do. Oh, and so my phone is plugged in, so we won't have to worry about losing sound when it tells me that it's dying. Okay. And then, so that's 3 layers. And then I'm going to put the top layer on. Make sure you guys can see me. Okay. Oops, I almost did it. All right. Now I'm going to offset this a little bit so you can see the white behind it, because that's going to make it stand out a little bit more. Give it depth. Thank you, Shirley. All right, so there's one. Right, let me do these others up real quickly. I probably should have done some of them up ahead of time, huh? So you guys didn't have to sit here and watch me glue. Oh, but you know, I got time to kill, so. Yes, you do appreciate it, Bev, and you always are surprised, pleasantly surprised. Oh, Shirley, your little bottle doesn't work. Is it one of these little ones, or is it your fine tip glue? That's an old one. There's a newer one. I mean, if it's the fine tip, you know, it's got a little peg down the middle of it. This one is, I think this is my broken one. Yep, and it used to have a little, the little peg from the lid used to go down into it, but somehow I lost the little peg, so I just use this one and poke it down in to get the other bottle started if I need to. But, and you can use that on here too if you have one of those. You can just do that and that'll open it up again for you. Okay. Switch lids here. And I always guide that in with my finger. Oh, doesn't want to go in though, does it? That's interesting. That's because that was the one that didn't have one on it before. There we go. Okay. I actually bought this in a pack. There's, I think, there were 4 in the pack, so there's 3 more still. All right. That one dried before I got a chance to get it close together. So I can either let it show or I can trim it after I get the whole thing together. This is just a nice way to add depth to your card front. You could use dimensionals, but this is much sturdier. These aren't gonna get bent or broken or torn because they're glued all the way down. So, okay, let me just I'll do these and then I'll switch to the little ones. I'm gonna do this one right dead on instead of, maybe I am. Huh, must be no glue got down there. There we go. Okay. See, okay, so this one, no, I'm putting it a little bit off, I think. Yeah, I think I want it a little bit off. But you see there's a lot more off there because that bottom one didn't get even. That's okay. However you want it. Okay, so let me do a couple of these little ones. Again, make sure, so my little curved branch is on the right. I'm just putting a little bit of glue on. It doesn't take a lot. I really should be holding it. And it's okay to not have it on the whole thing. So, okay, there's 1 layer, 2 layers. Yeah, the fine tip from SU. So you probably lost your pin that goes in the middle of it. Oh, it is there in the lid, but it comes out. Oh, okay. There's 2 spots that those bottles unscrew. That's probably why. I'll show you in a second, but let me get this going first. Okay. Was that 2? Yeah, I need to put one more on, don't I? All right, and then now that I've got 3 on it, it's easier to hold it down here at the bottom. Don't necessarily have to use the tweezers. All right, we'll put the green on. And I'm going to make this one right dead on. No white showing. There we go. Okay. All right. My hands are all covered with glue. So let me show you just really quickly, Shirley. So it comes off here and here. So you could actually leave that cap off and then push your pin down in, and that would get all the way down into it. Give that a try and see if that helps. Yes, Imp Ed, this is a good process for depths. Some people, some non-Stampin' Up! People that I watch online do this with everything. They put layers on everything on their cards. It's a little bit more work, but it's, like I said, it's much sturdier. I did that backwards because I know for a fact that the, I know for a fact that the curved stem has to go on the right, so I'm just going to put these 2 together, like so, and then flip it back over to this side, and do the next layer. Whoops, I want those together. Get together. Okay. Okay, one more layer. Oops. Took it apart and soaked it, but it didn't help. Yeah, call SU, they'll replace it. There must be something going on with it. All right, and the final layer, the green. Okay, just 2 more to make. One more small one, one more big one. Stick with me. All right, so those have to go like this. And you know, I could be working on this silicone mat instead of getting my glass mat all yucky. That would have made more sense, wouldn't it have? Oh well. Don't always think these things through. Okay, let's see what we can do with it on the mat here. Something tells me it'll be much faster this way. What I love about the silicone mat is you can just take it in the sink, wash it off, clean it all off, let it air dry. I'm just gonna leave that right there. If it sticks to the mat, that's okay. Leave it right there. Do the next 2 layers. This is getting low. I'm gonna pull that off. It's in my way. There we go. It's a little bit more ink or glue than I wanted, but I squeezed a little too hard. Oops, almost did it backwards. Okay. Get on there. And there where you're supposed to be. There we go. All right, and then this goes on there. And one more. I'm gonna put this one even. No white sticking out. Okay, set that one aside. And let's get this last one assembled and move on. Oops, backwards. There we go. All right, oh, goodness. do the finger. Okay. And let's get that one dead on again. All right. So they're all done. So now we're going to take, let me just wipe that off. Stampin' Chamois, they're not just for ink. Okay. And we'll dry it off. Okay. All right, so here's our base that goes on the card. And we're gonna go ahead and glue the layers of leaves down. All right, and I'm going to put them in various places and then trim off the edges. And if I thought about it, I would probably make sure that I didn't put ink where it's coming off the card, but I didn't think about it before I did it, so, oh well. Oh, let's see, let's put that one like that. It's almost like falling leaves. Okay. Oh, let's see, whoops. Let's put that coming in from down there, or up there. Put this last big one on. Let's put this one completely on right here. And that, whoops, it would just stick to the card better than it sticks to my hands. And here we go with these. Okay, let's put one coming in from here. And I think we're just going to put a small portion of this one on. Right up here, like so. There. Whoop, get down there. Okay. So now, I'm just going to give that a second. Put this cap on without looping it. Because I want to make sure it's going to be stuck there before I start cutting things on it. So, because there's glue on these, I don't want to use my good Stampin' Up! Scissors. So I have, these are actually Tim Holtz, which aren't cheap, but I've been using these for, that's why they have tape on them. Those are my sticky scissors. And then I have another pair of, I think, Fiskars over on my, with my ribbon that I use to cut ribbon with, and that has a little piece of ribbon on it to tell me. Okay. So I'm just going to trim off the stuff that's coming over the edges. There we go. And then we're going to put this on here. Let's see. This way, I think that way. Whoop. Huh. Oh, that went way off. That's all right. I'll fold it over. Whoops. Okay, first I gotta fold over the stuff that I, there. Put this on here, centered, like so. Closely centered, almost centered, Wendy centered. Okay, our little birdie's gonna fly in the middle, maybe down here. Yeah, he's gonna go down here this time. And I did use dimensionals to put him on. Big dimensionals and little dimensionals. And actually my little dimensionals are gone, so I'll just cut around the edge here. I want to put a piece here that won't show. Oh, part of it came off on my finger. All of it came off on my finger. That's what I get for having sticky fingers. There we go. Okay. And for some reason, this page of dimensionals are tearing off. I have to pull them off from inside of the group of dimensionals. All right, and he's going to fly right here like so. Okay, you know what? I should have erased off of him before I, no, it's okay. It's erasing off. Okay. Okay. And then I just need to do a sentiment banner. And on this one I did Just a Note. This is my favorite font. I just love this font. So the other choices are Happy Birthday, Thinking of You, Just a Note, and Thank You. Well, the other choices don't include Just a Note because that's the choice. So let's see, what do I want to do on this? Here's my banner. Maybe I'll do Thinking of You on here. It is called it's a good question. I think I got it on scrapbook.com, but it's a glue eraser. So it erases any dried glue that you have on projects. So I think you can find it on stampbook.com. I have 2 of them over here. And then I have a sand eraser for erasing ink, but that really just erases the paper off. So, okay, so I'm going to do Thinking of You in this font on this one. And actually, I may end up thinning that down, trimming that down. Thinking of You. No, that was not the font I wanted to use. Happy birthday. Okay, let's turn it over. Thinking of You. There it is. Oh, that was the font I wanted to use. Sorry, guys. I'm so confused. Yes. Okay. I'm going to put it over here to the edge. All right, and I'm going to do it in Pacific Point like I did the other one because I think that looks really pretty on there. There, whoops, I'm going to flip it because I got the little halo there. Let me clean that off. So this is juicier than I thought it was. Okay, try that again. That's better. Okay. Rubber erasers. Thank you, Shirley. It's a rubber eraser to remove adhesive. Yes, it is. Okay. So I am going to, I don't think I'm going to trim it down, but I think I'm going to make a deeper dovetail. I think I did dovetails with you guys on one of these before, how you cut down the middle, the center, like so, and then you cut from each corner to that center point, and that makes an even dovetail. There we go. That's not exactly perfect, but it'll do. And we're going to put it, actually, we're going to put it up here, like so. Yes, that's what we're going to do. So I am going to use my dimensionals again. Here. And here. I think that'll work. Okay. I'm going to put it here, like so. There we go. I like this one better. But, okay, then we're going to use some bling. Got to put some bling on. I don't know where my other, I have 2. Oh, they're both in there. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of the rhinestones here. Let's see. We'll put one up here. I only have this one size right now. Put one here. And I'm one of those people that does it in odd numbers. It just seems to work out well that way for me. So that's it. Yes, I'm sure I buy a lot of things on Amazon too, so. All right, so that is that. Those are the 2 that I've made today. Now here's the other one I did. So for the other one, I used bright colors. I used Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Coastal Cabana. And then I used the Daisy Punch. I think it's called the medium Daisy Punch. We had a large Daisy Punch that retired. So we still have this one though. And notice how I offset them all so you can see a little bit of white under them because I just really like the way that looks. And then I used these new heart pearls to decorate it. And because it didn't seem like it had enough with 3, I ended up putting on 5 because, you know, I have to do everything in odd numbers when it comes to embellishments. So, and I am going to use my eraser on this. And I could have stamped the daisies on this, but what I did was I made my paper like this, and I made 2 sets of it, and I cut my daisies out of one of them, and I used the other one for the background. And I decided I was going to put a Coastal Cabana, or a Bermuda, it's Bermuda Bay, not Coastal Cabana. I was going to use a Bermuda Bay or border, but I went in my scrap drawer, and I didn't have one big enough, and I thought, well, we'll just do that then. So I've got 2 thinking of yous and just a note. So, hi Pamela, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So really I kept it short this time, under an hour, but let me turn you back so I can talk to you. Hang on just a second. Let you look at my ceiling for a minute. There I am. Okay, so that's that. Card class again is this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm going to see many of you here. Surely I wish you could come. I know it's a little far for you to travel. And I've shown you all the cards that we're making, so I won't pull those out again and show them to you. But I'm very excited for this weekend. And no embellishments on any of the cards this weekend. None of them, I didn't find a need to use any embellishments. So maybe they'll be a little quicker. Some of them are pretty involved, but okay. So next week I'll be back on Tuesday to do another Facebook Live. And the following week, let's see, next Tuesday will be the 17th. So the following week will be the 24th. I will be here for that one too. But then 3 weeks from now, I will be in Alaska visiting my husband, who's flying up there this coming Friday. So I'll be gone for just a week. But I will come on live and show you wherever I am in Alaska at, let's see, 7 o'clock here will be, 3 hours behind us, I think? Yes, so it'll be 4 o'clock in the afternoon there. I'll show you what we're doing, whether we're flying or whatever. I'll remember to come on live because I have a timer on my phone. So I'll come on live and I'll show you the sights from the air if we're up in the air, which we probably will be, or I'll just show you where we are hanging out in Alaska. So maybe I'll see you next week. I hope so. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.